Hello there, this product family is a lovely fit for both spring if you're in the Northern Hemisphere and autumn down here in Australia, so I thought we'd have a play with some rosy tones. Dior's Rosewood range tripled in size earlier this year, so I wanted to talk you through their 4 products in a short, sharp and shiny video. Yep, lip gloss coming up. A bit of background first on the difference between the Dior and Dior Backstage ranges, as the palettes in this 9-pan format are from Dior Backstage. This is a sub-brand that launched in June 2018, inspired by products used by professionals and makeup artists backstage. But you definitely don't have to be an expert, it's meant to be a fairly simple range to just enhance your appearance. It has a different look, different font, more youthful feel, and lower price point than Dior's main line. Interestingly, although Dior's lip glow balms and lip maximizer glosses have long been popular products from the brand, they seem to have been moved under the Backstage umbrella now too. The Rosewood journey began with Dior's lip maximizer gloss, then the Dior lip glow oils launched in January this year, and the new lip glow shade and shadow palette followed in mid-March. Let's start by swatching the palette, as that's sort of the hero piece. I love when brands take a popular shade and extend it across more products, like Charlotte Tilbury did with Pillow Talk and Walk of Shame, so I was thrilled to hear this Rosewood Neutrals palette was in the works. Compared to the other Dior Backstage pieces I've tried, the warm, rich amber neutrals palette is a beautiful colour combination for autumn. You can see that swatched in a video last year, and the more recent custom eye palette is much cooler for smoky looks. So Rosewood is actually closest in tone to the Dior Backstage lip palette, a combination of gloss, satin and matte shades I enjoy using to multitask on lips and eyes too. I'll link to some earlier swatches of this down below. As someone who loves rosy pink, mauve and plum shadows to bring out my green eyes, this is a dream colour combination. In the 9-pan palette there's an eye primer in the top left corner, a shade called a highlighter, 1 metal without the Dior imprint, 1 shimmer and 5 mattes. We'll start with the primer, which comes in the top left corner of every Dior Backstage eye palette. Handy if you don't own other eye primers, but I'd probably personally prefer to see that space used for an extra shadow. I do find this helps keep shadow in place, even on my eyes that crease quite quickly, but it's a really light sandy beige, so I don't think this will work for all skin colours. The first shadow is a matte called Nude. It's another light beige, so probably something people would use as a base colour. There's always one colour in a palette that you never really get that much use out of, so this is that for me. But I will say all of their powders are so silky smooth and easy to apply evenly. The colour Bronze is labelled as a highlighter, and it also appears in the top row of the Amber Neutrals palette too. It's definitely very gold, not something I'd call bronze, and not something I'd use as a highlighter on my skin because it's really quite glittery, but it would be beautiful in the centre of the eye, like the look in Karima McKimmy's recent video. I'll link that below. The second row starts with the only metal shadow texture, the shade Magenta. I suspect the really soft feel of this one meant they couldn't replicate the Dior imprint. Very smooth to apply, it's a beautiful rich red shade with quite a light pink look in the light. I definitely get much more intensity swiping this one on with my fingers instead of using a brush. My dream shade in the middle is a matte called Rose. I often talk about my love of a simple pink eyeshadow and red lip look. There's a highlight on my Instagram with some of my favourite red carpet makeup moments in that style. This is an ideal colour for that. It's not too much of a baby pink, it's a more muted rose, so it's beautiful as an everyday wash of colour all over the eye. The last one in this row is the matte colour Wood, but up close you can see this does have a bit of shimmer, so it's definitely not a true matte like Nude and Rose so far. In the pan, this almost looked too cool toned for me. Warmer shades just work better with my undertones and eye colour, but I like that the gold shimmer in it has turned this into more of a bronze. Moving on to the final row where the colours get much deeper. Burgundy is the only shimmer in the palette, but as you'll see it looks pretty similar to some of the other mattes that are actually quite shimmery too. This is a really nice dark purpley pink. It has a little bit of that pink flip in the light. Fun to play with if you're doing a smoky eye but want something a bit less stark than cool greys. We're back to mattes for these last two, but they're definitely pretty luminous again. Not sure what happened with the labelling or the formulas because they're not really matte. Dark Plum is a beautiful deep purple that I love combining with rose above by applying it with a tiny brush or even just a cotton tip, smudging it close to the lash line like a smoky liner. Using a deep purple that way adds nice definition but isn't as harsh as black. Finally, Purple Brown is another strangely shimmery matte to finish things off, definitely far more radiant in the light than dark mattes usually are. Purple Brown is a simple but effective name for it. There's a bit of pink to it which lifts it out of being a muddy brown and almost gives it a dark bronze tone, as if you deepened the earlier shade Wood and added some pink to it. There's the whole lineup. Primer, nude, bronze, magenta, rose, wood, burgundy, dark plum, and purple brown. Apart from some slightly unusual labelling of the textures, and as a result only 2 true mattes out of 9 colours, it's still a beautiful palette if you're into rosy, berry, burgundy eye looks like I am. Moving on to lips, and we'll start at the beginning with the first Rosewood product. The Dior Lip Maximizer is a best-selling gloss formula that's been around for a while, but Bella Hadid seemed to help give it a second life as their 2019 campaign star. This is a comfortable, non-sticky formula known for its plumping quality, but I don't really notice that effect. There is a slight tingle because of the strong peppermint flavour, but my lips definitely don't get any bigger. But they do look smooth and full thanks to the very fine gold shimmer in this shade. The Dior Lip Glow oils have made many appearances here since they launched in January this year. Definitely one of my favourite releases in 2020. I'll link my earlier swatching video below. These are such a good combination of a lip gloss and lip oil with a super smooth, balmy feel, but still that glide on the lips that gloss lovers will enjoy. It's not a lightweight, watery oil. I love the matching minty taste, but my favourite bit is the enormous doe foot applicator that's not far off being a couch. It's so comfy and plush. Not a lip oil I'd use for nourishment, it tends to wear away too quickly. Several of the other lip glow oil shades can end up looking a bit similar on the lips, but Rosewood is more pigmented and creates a nice rosy colour without being too much of a baby pink. Last but not least, the original Dior Lip Glow, a tinted balm with a big following. This introduced the Colour Reviver technology that's also present in the Lip Glow oil, responding to the natural colour of your lips and adding a kiss of colour. I mentioned in my earlier lip glow comparison video that I personally don't find balm formulas like this that moisturising, so it's not something I reach for if my lips really need hydration, but I like treating it as a sheer lipstick or something subtle when I just want a touch of colour. Let me know what you think of the formula. 001 Pink is their signature shade, but it's really quite a bright baby pink on me. So Rosewood was a very welcome addition to make my lips look nice and rosy without being too much of a bright pink. Hope you enjoyed roaming around the Dior Rosewood family. Please let me know what you think of it. Is the eyeshadow palette in your usual colour comfort zone, or would you lean towards another one in the range? If you're new to the lip formulas, what would you put on your wish list first? Or if you're a Dior addict, which one is your favourite? Thanks for watching. See you next time.